Miss Jeanette, the mic goes to you. We are very unofficial here, right?
Yeah,
On the floor, hands on.
Hi, everybody. Lovely to see you. I hope you enjoyed your last talk on unwellness or wellness.
We are well now.
So today we go to the exact extreme and talk about numbers. So I'm going to call my lovely panel people onto the stage. Yalla, come. So we're actually missing one person, caught in traffic. Never mind. Thorsten, come and sit next to me. So, yeah, and I'm going to sit down because I've been running up and down my stand for the last 2 hours. So, just before we start, it's the Product House 25 years this year. And the reason I'm telling you this in the audience, so if you look under your chair and you have a 25 sticker underneath your chair, then you get a prize. You can come to our stand and you get a prize for the first 25. Anybody that has a sticker? Anybody? No? Oh, someone's got a sticker. Well done. So come to our stand afterwards and you can get your prize. So today, we're going to talk about KPIs, but first of all, I will introduce you to people on our panel. First of all, we have Chris from Rhea Wellbeings. I have known Chris for a long time now, but Chris, how would you describe yourself in the industry?
Maybe I would say I'm innovative and I'm knocking on a lot of doors that other people were afraid to knock on. And I'm very passionate. I love what I do, that's for sure. Yeah.
Like pass the parcel. Is there any other mics that we can have? Because this is going to be like pass the parcel because it's a bit of a discussion here. Can you give it to Maricel? Maricel, we've known each other for many, many years now.
Many years.
And you run an amazing spa, one of my favorite desert spas in Bab el Shams.
Thank you.
What's the secret of your success there?
I think it's just about the passion. I've experienced for 20 years. I have experience for 20 years in the spa. I've seen a lot of development from from the old times. We don't have metro stations. We don't have the Palm Jumeirah before. So you've seen the growth, and there's so many spas that have built. So it's the secret of the spa is actually your passion, your heart should be there, your sincerity, and yes, you love the people that you work with. Thank you.
Great, I think we're all very passionate about spa, and we move on to Thorsten, who's been in the industry for decades and worked with some of the biggest corporates in the region, and is going to provide some great insights today, aren't we, Thorsten?
Absolutely. So thank you so much for being on the panel here. It's also a great honor to see everybody, and of course being with you guys and sharing the same passion. And it's important to have people who we like, who we love, to surround us and drive our industry forward.
So unfortunately, Maha has not been able to make it today. She's still stuck in traffic. So hopefully if she arrives, we'll welcome her on the stage as well. First of all, I just wanted to get to know the audience. There are some faces I recognize, the infamous Mr. Guarini over there. Hi, Sammy. Do we have any owners of spas or salons here? Any owners, operators? No? Spa GMs, spa directors? Spa directors, corporate directors. Sharon, welcome. And what about supervisors? Are the rest of salons? Do we have salon people here? And what about the rest of you who haven't put their hands up? What do you do? Anybody? Running spas? Brilliant. So today we're going to talk about KPIs, and I presume that everybody knows what a KPI is. Is there anyone that doesn't know? Just be very discreet and put your head down if you don't know what a KPI is. Key performance indicators, and they drive all our business. They're things that we measure daily and see how every piece of business is doing. So it's really important that we follow these key performance indicators. With the Product House, we follow the main four, which are capture rates for spa goers, capture rates for treatment and retail, and then the average spend as well. So today, what we wanted to do on stage was actually talk about success and how our panelists have used KPIs in a successful way. I know we all talk about numbers, and sometimes on stage it's like, oh, increase it from this to this and you'll have this. But at the Product House and with our panelists today, I think the most important thing is how you do it. So today they're going to share some of their experiences on what they've done to focus on certain KPIs and how they've driven those KPIs. So we were going to start with Maha, but Maricel, you have chosen a very specific channel to increase your booking and indeed customer retention. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
That's correct. Does everyone use the WhatsApp? Because at the moment, we have so many channels like social media, online bookings, and we think that WhatsApp is just for personal messaging. But I've just found out last year when I started using it, and we've seen an increase, like great increase in our capture rates, not only just for in-house guests, for outside guests as well. Because most of the time we are very busy, we are very, we're very pressured with so many deadlines and so many things that's happening around. So some guests, they wanted an instant messaging, like, I wanted to book a massage, how could I do it?
And something more personal as well.
Yes, it is. And you get the instant answer. So you don't have to wait for so long to receive an email reply from reservations or from reception. You get the answer quickly, and you also, as a business, settle the payment directly. I mean, you can contact with the guest personally. You send the message like the spa menus, the pricing, or any offers that you have in the spa, and you can promote easily, and you close the deal within 15 minutes.
So it's not only personal, but it's a lot quicker.
Yes.
I know. I mean, imagine how many emails you get on a daily basis, and especially corporates. Hundreds and hundreds. I get emails, and people always say to me when I send them emails, like organizing this event, I'm not reading my emails. And people tend now to use WhatsApp a lot more. It's instant gratification, which is where everything is going these days. So do you use that for outside guests and in-house guests as well, Maricel?
Yes, we do. When we receive the email and the guests say, I don't have time, can you just send me a WhatsApp message? So we take the number of the guests, I introduce myself, or my team introduce themselves, and that's when we start connecting and closing the deal within 15 minutes, because most of our guests are very busy and they don't have really time to, think about it. So when you are already on WhatsApp and you're communicating, you give the answers of what they need. So it's like you're talking to the person, but through WhatsApp.
Yeah, so how does that process actually work from the first time they contact you? So they contact you how? Do they phone the spa? Do they email the spa?
So both. So they contact us either email or through phone calls. So we'll start with the email. So they will contact us through email, and we will reply, can we have your number? We can contact you through WhatsApp. So when the guests give us their number, then that's the time we will be starting connecting with them. And they will say, oh, I would like to book for a massage today at 5 p.m. And it's in the morning. And we say, yes, absolutely. You can really see your booking system, what are your availabilities, and you give the time, and then the guest will say, okay, just book me in, and then that's it. You get the advance payment. And
yeah, because we always mention, I'm sure you'll agree, Chris, that we always mention that if you're not using the website to do bookings for spa, you've already lost like 25% of your capture rate. If you're not using the telephone properly, sometimes nobody's answering the telephone. If you're now using WhatsApp and it's really quick, instant gratification, and people feel it's really personal, it's so much more important. So yeah, to get a great capture rate from your hotel and outside guests is to use a more personal method of WhatsApp. What about retail? How have you worked on retail with your KPIs?
With the retail, it's actually, it's a two-way. Like if you work with your team and you encourage them, you motivate them with, of course, money, like an incentives or product incentives. So you get to increase your capture rate for retail, and also you could promote your brand as well to the guest. So it's actually a win-win situation, right?
And which do you feel for your particular spa? I mean, over the past 25 years, we've changed retail so much. And every time we go into a spa and we do training, we say, what motivates your therapists? Because everybody is motivated in a different way. What do you feel works with your therapists, Maricel?
With our therapists, if there is a support from from the hotel, so they gave us incentives, and then the product houses give us the products, so the therapists can try the brand, so they could really sell it. And if they believe on that product, then yes, it will be a success for your retail.
Great. So that covers two of the KPIs. One is your capture rate for hotel and capture rate for spa, and then also capture rate for retail. So that's great. We'd like to invite Maha onto the stage. Maha, Director of Spa and Recreation from the Conrad Abu Dhabi Etihad Towers. Sorry about the bad traffic. Welcome to our panel. I'm not going to pick on you next because I know I'm going to let you relax a little bit. So, yeah, looking at the different aspects of KPIs, so we cover those two. Now I'm going to hand over to Chris to tell us a little bit about how he drives his KPIs in his business. Now, Chris has spas, the well-being spas and Rhea, and you now run how many? 15? 27 spas. So obviously has great hints about how to use your KPIs, your capture rate, average spend, etc.
I mean, yeah, obviously it's going back to the basics, right? And I feel that this KPI topic is a very worn out topic in my eyes, because you need to just look at the main focus should be the capture rates of the guests, right? So obviously that in-house capture rate, the outside capture rate has a direct knock-on effect on all the capacity utilization KPIs, on your ref path, on your room utilization, therapist utilization. So what should be your focus here? Your focus should be getting guests to the door and making sure your marketing initiatives are right, going back to basics, going back to 10,000 feet and looking what do you do within the hotel in terms of touch points. And if you have roadblocks, what can you do to remove these roadblocks? Because as we all know, one GM is not acting like the other. I mean, for me, it's 26 GMs that I continuously have to convince about what is right and what is wrong, right? And there's a lot of egos in the hotel industry, and there's a lot of, you know, this works better and this works better. No, we know what works best, and we have to get through to the owners, to the general managers, to the director of rooms, whoever you may report into, to show them data and show them what your revenues would look like if you don't switch certain things on, right? So for us in the hotels, predominantly, we have a marketing switchboard, which is very simple. I mean, now if you're looking at your case, for example, you have a property-related GM that you have to convince, right? You don't have to go out and continuously have to drill into different egos. So if you get to know how that person operates, maybe for you it might be easier, as in my case. But I think the basics are always the same. You have to have your capture rate, touch points, rights in the hotel. You have to have your arrival collateral. You have to have lobby presence. You have no downtimes in the spa. Your therapist should not be sitting around doing stupid cleaning jobs, playing on their WhatsApps and on their Instagrams. They should be down in the lobby and doing lobby promotion when they're not busy. And they should be scheduled as such, right? So there's a lot of things that can be done on that front. There's a nice bass going. Yeah, you feel that? So that lobby promotion can look in various ways. We have, 4D skin scanners that we use for check-in. When there's check-in queues, we give complimentary skin analysis. We have a beautiful trolley set up in the lobby where we give complimentary scrubs. You know, we mix it with sea salt, with spirulina. We just have to have touch points to go personally with the guest and try to talk to them, and then obviously book them and bring them to the spa. Breakfast promotion, it's basics. In-room collateral, how should that look? Now you have the problem that all the hotels want to go paperless, right? Okay, so now here's the thing. If you have to take your remote control of your TV, have to flick through 6 channels, have to take your phone, which might run on low battery or whatever, it's just not what we stand for. That's not wellness. That's everything else but wellness. It's annoying, right? So you should be having ease of access to the spa menu. And actually, if you ask people what they would prefer, 90% will tell you, I would prefer a tangible, nice printed spa collateral in the room. Because most of the bookings are made, guess what? They're made between 10 p.m. and 12 p.m. at night, when people are lying in bed, flicking through the spa menu, having a little, drinky with the wife, and then they're deciding what they're going to do the next day. So you need to get that message across, and you need to really drill that into the GM's head. If you have a good fitness setup, make sure you have your collateral displayed on the digital screens, on the machines of the gym, have your digital ads running throughout the property, and try to do activations. Because it's very complacent to go to your marketing director and say, hey, I want this initiative to be done, and I want this initiative to be done. The marketing director focuses on rooms and F&B. The spa is the third thing on their minds, if you're lucky, right? So it's very important to, be proactive, have creative ideas, come up with workshops, maybe mindfulness workshops or anything retail related where the product houses can assist, and keep it fun. And I think you'll see if you look at that switchboard of marketing initiatives and you make sure that each and every one of them is flicked on in your property, you will have a major knock-on effect on your KPI when it comes to the therapist utilization, room utilization and capture rates.
Yeah, I think visibility is so important, and as Chris said, getting the GM on your side. I know we fight with GMs to say, you actually need to see something 5 times in order for your brain to be persuaded to buy it or use it. So imagine you walk into a hotel, and my dream is to have actually somebody coming up to me, and then when you say, could you tell me where the spa is? And they say, upstairs, like, if they can say to me, yeah, and it's got a special offer on at the moment, would you like me to take you there? Or you actually had a sign in the foyer showing you where the spa is, not hidden in a corner. I know it's a big fight with the GMs, but we love it when we recently did a proposal and we had the GM, the marketing team, the spa team, everybody on board with us. And it makes so much difference because if you can get everybody there, and you can speak to everybody, you can get the visibility. So as soon as you walk into that particular hotel now, and we talk about paperless, you see big on video screens, the spa rolling through. You go into the lift, you see more spa. You go into the corridor, you see beautiful candles or lanterns or whatever, or a theme that we've created with the different colors, visibility going down the corridor. Then you get into the spa. And so many spas are like, oh, the GM doesn't want to have products there, they don't want to have colors there, they want it just plain minimalist. That's not going to sell your products, it's not going to persuade people. During COVID, we were actually writing menus on the wall because you weren't allowed to have a receptionist on reception. So we actually took some of our spas and we were writing in lovely wavy patterns and really nice design work on the walls so that people could see the menu without even having a person there. So visibility is absolutely crucial, and getting the GM on your side. Now, Maha, welcome. Lovely to have you with us. You had a particular idea of online booking, I believe.
Hello, everyone. My apologies again for being late.
Don't worry.
Traffic from Abu Dhabi. Yes, totally agree with you. Visibility is very, very important. And now I think in this digital age that we're living in, yes, we do need to have a printed spa menu, but I think if we're not visible online, then our consumers, our guests will go somewhere else who is visible. So why lose them? For me, it's very important to have online booking active, and all our offers and promotions listed there as well, because it also generates extra revenue when the guests are booking their spa treatments. You have options of add-ons. So immediate upsell. That's something that I'm really focusing on in my spa.
Yeah, so that's increasing the average spend.
Yes, absolutely.
And I always think, I mean, when I try and book a spa online, if you have to pay for it there and then, it's great for the hotel because you pay for it and then you go to the spa later on and you think, oh, I don't have to pay for anything, so I'll buy some retail or I'll buy this or I'll book in another treatment. So online booking is crucial, and I know that in the Middle East it's very weak. Extremely weak. So I think that's one of the things that they really need to work on. How much do you think you increased your booking by when you started online?
When I started with Conrad in April, up until now, we have increased for 6%. So that's really a lot. Now, my average monthly online booking is anywhere between 13 to 16%, which is great. My goal is to get it to 20%.
Yeah.
Because if we're not visible, they will go somewhere else. So
And-
we really need to have strong channels, strong website, everything, all our promotions, all the treatment listed online. We need to have strong Google page, because when guests are Googling spa to go or they just want to check the location, we will always pop up. Of course, it goes hand in hand with marketing as well to promote the Google page of the spa as well, not just the hotel. So.
Yeah, and also, how would you suggest, say there are hotels out there or there's a spa out there that doesn't have any online presence, what's the steps that they could take, easy steps to make that online presence? Who do they have to talk to?
Right. I mean, building a website nowadays, it takes a couple of minutes. It's really not that hard. And there are other booking platforms that they can utilize. I know a lot of salons utilize Fresha, right? So it's quite easy.
And for a hotel itself, what steps, who did you have to persuade to get this booking system to work?
It's available. We all, in the hotels, we're all utilizing either SpaSoft or Book for Time, mostly Book for Time now. So it's available option. It just needs to be ticked on. It just need to be activated and then embedded into the hotel website. It's quite easy process.
So again, it's talking to the GM, talking to the
Yes.
marketing team, and actually showing them that this can be a really viable increase in
Yes.
their revenue.
I know they all focus on restaurants, many
Of course.
restaurants, selling rooms, but of course we also make contribution to the overall budget.
Yeah, but it's really interesting to look at, what a slight change if you increase your booking by, say, 4%. And then
Yes.
you increase your average spend by 5%, and then you increase your retail by 10%, how that can actually add up.
Yeah.
And we'll be showing you some figures just on the platform that we've been working on for the 4 KPIs. So as I said, the capture rate for treatment retail and the average spend for treatment retail. And just increasing these by a few percent each month or even every quarter.
Not to mention online gift certificates. Now that's something else that we are transitioning into. I know some properties are already doing it, but this is my focus for this month and next month, to really sell all our gift certificates online, because it's a hustle for guests coming into the spa, paying through a payment link, getting actual physical gift certificates. But now, again, everything is digital, right? So why not give a gift through the digital form? So that's also something that we can promote
Is that
online
something
as well.
that you're using, Chris? And
I mean, you touch base on Fresha. Obviously, we introduced Fresha to the Middle East back then with, the grooming company. And I believe it's a fantastic platform. Obviously, I don't know what you're paying in terms of the online booking fees, but that's also something to consider, right?
Yes.
So obviously, the higher the online bookings are, there is still a certain margin that we have to put aside for the fees, right? But I think, we also do the digital vouchers. There's lots of marketing initiatives, and everybody should take a very close look at what booking platform and what booking system you're using and what do they have to offer. And I think you rightfully said, right, there's a lot of marketing initiatives that are already embedded into these softwares, like SMS campaigns, automated
Yes.
emails, it just continuously rebattles, and you have full control to set these parameters, right? You can say if a client has not come back within 3 months, you're going to send that email out. If a client does not come back within 6 months, you send a 50% SMS out to the client. All of that can be steered through
Yes, all the
through
platforms
booking
have
platform.
that have that function to send either pre-arrival email or reminder SMS, so you don't lose
Yeah.
revenue, you don't cancel bookings. It's not the guests will not forget to come into the spa, so it has all the options.
Absolutely ideal. Just to touch base one more time on one KPI regarding the revenue in the treatment. What we do as well, not to add any more time or add any more, service provider, resource. We just, give the option of a upgraded oil, for example. We use Arnica oils or premium coconut oils that the guest can use for an upgrade for 50 dirhams, 80 dirhams. That's not going to add any cost, like literally, right, to your treatment. It's a very insignificant margin to use a premium oil, but it can increase your average check quite a bit, maybe by 10%, right? So that's a very, very good idea to do that as well without any hassle, right?
Yeah, and for us, I think one of the most important things is education. We touched a little bit on retail, Maricel, and I think if your team hasn't been educated properly, retail is like really difficult. Having a retail module where you're teaching them easy steps to sell retail, like we've created a module which we've developed over the past 25 years for all therapists. We go in, we do the retail module as we have with Maricel, and we find out how many products the therapists are selling. And they usually start with 1 or 5 or maybe 10 if we're lucky. And we do our retail module, and through these steps and wonderful incentives. So therapists, as we said, are incentivized by different things. So it could be that they like a pat on the back. Hey, you've done really well today, Maricel. Or it could be that you want a certificate, Chris. You know, here's a certificate to say that you've done fantastically. Thorsten, you might be motivated by money. So, let's give him a money prize. And Maya might be motivated by a product. So there are all different ways. And we've researched this over the past 25 years and found out that every property is different. So just because one property, the therapists want product, it doesn't mean the next property will. They want money. And we recently gave an incentive where if the therapists gradually move up from 5 products to 10 products to 15 to 20, and they actually sell 30 products a month, that's just 1 a day. So imagine you're doing, 5 to 8 treatments a day on average, and you only have to sell 1 person a product from those 5 people or 8 people that you meet. And then you sell 1 every day and you reach 30, and we've been given a 500 dirham prize. And now we have, from 0 people selling 30, we have about 30 of our therapists selling 30 a month. The revenue goes up incredibly high. And with all our executives, they go in on a weekly or monthly basis and they say, how many of you sold this week? What have been the problems? And facing the challenges. So after the talk today on KPIs, we have workshops on retail, on booking, and on motivation, all 3 things like really important to boost your retail KPIs. So lastly, but not least, we're going to hand over to Thorsten, who's going to talk about how memberships can also increase your KPIs. Welcome, Thorsten.
Thank you very much, and thanks for being on the panel. I think memberships is a really untapped market in the spa industry, so we can really learn from the fitness industry. And traditionally here in Dubai, I think the utilization rate for treatment rooms are traditionally very low, and I think everybody can agree with that. And we always try to find ways and techniques how we can increase the utilization rate for our treatments, and because I've been overbuilt over the past years. And I think a great tool is to implement wellness memberships. For example, with wellness coaching, that's an easy part if you can train our therapist with wellness coaching, wellness facilitation. So we can also have a longevity program in the spa. We can really make a difference in people's lives when we wellnessify our program. It doesn't have to be only expensive equipment. Even if you have the CapEx, that would be great. And we have a justification because we get those membership revenues in. And nowadays, there's so many wonderful touchless modalities. Let it be from infrared or hyperbaric chamber. Hyperbaric chamber is on the more expensive side, but even let it be a cryo chamber or ice bathing. These are all untapped markets in the spa industry, which the fitness industry is catching up now, but we shouldn't let that happen, that we're losing that business. So we should also tap into this market and really implement those missing revenue streams, which is traditionally missing.
And have you found that has worked for you?
Well, in the US, they gives great examples. So they have completely touchless spas. Of course, I'm not a friend of complete touchless, so it needs to be a nice balance. And I think the massage will have more and more importance, but also the challenge finding good therapists, finding good head count. So we need to balance this out with touchless modalities to find a balance.
And whilst you were at EMA, was there anything particular that increased your KPIs while you were there, as well as memberships?
Well, we really try to bring as much as more touchless modalities inside the spas, which I think worked quite well and is still improving. And we really try, but our problem was we have, of course, a lot of facilities, a lot of treatment rooms. Many treatment rooms are empty. So we're really trying to find ways and techniques to implement it. And it worked quite well, and it's still improving.
Chris, you're looking intrigued by this. Did you have something to add?
Go ahead.
You know, me and Thorsten know each other forever. And it's, look, I agree with you to most extent. But like you said, it is a space issue, right? So when you have these space constraints, and it's getting increasingly difficult, right? With the wellness equipment, I think as a setup that goes in a 12,000 square feet spa, you have 12 treatment rooms and you can sacrifice 3. But when push comes to shove, people come to the spa for a good, solid 60-minute massage. This is what the main KPI is set on, right? And it's just always going to be like that. So we do everything that you mentioned in our spas, but it's still a nice to have. Even though we have all of these wellness modalities on the menu, from cryo over IV drips, over, you know, people come and they look at the menu and they probably get set on a good solid 60-minute massage. Another thing that I think is dangerous on the membership approach is that in our case, not in a case of a single property. Single property, I think the idea is brilliant. It's going to work for sure if you have a higher price and you have a single property. As a group, like we're looking at our 26 outlets, what we have found, and we did that exercise 2 years ago, when we did that membership model, we started obviously having to give discounts on the members for their regular treatments, right? So we started seeing our loyal guests that normally came like 3-4 times a month, you know, now they're sitting on a discounted rate now because they're now members. So we started cannibalizing our own revenue through our loyal guests that lost the revenue. So on group level, it is a two-sided sword. But I think for a single property, the wellness membership will work extremely well. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd just like to add a bit on your massage point. We always hear people going, and the amount of times I stand in a reception and the person comes up to the receptionist and says, I want massage. And the booking person just says, oh, what type of massage would you like? Well, for me, one of the big revenue boosters is on your menu is to have your signatures first, and then your facials, and then your body treatments, and then lastly on the menu to have your massages. This allows you to upsell and also to train the receptionists on upselling, because I know I've been to Babelshams and I walk in there and they didn't actually know who I was. The Maricel didn't know I was coming. And I said, I've got a treatment booked.
Yes.
And the first thing was, they tried to sell me a signature, which is fantastic. Because imagine if you increase your revenue from 600 dirhams for a massage up to 850 or 1,000 dirhams. And there are techniques that you can teach your receptionist to do this, like we have a special offer on today, or how about trying one of our signatures, not mentioning the price. These are very small tips, and I would always try and upsell a massage into a signature or a special treatment, because that's what it's all about. And we love designing signatures for you guys. Our whole point is telling stories and make sure each spa is different, so they have something different to offer. Would you agree with that, Maricel?
That's correct. Because in the Babelshams, in all the spas that we have around in the city, we all have the massages, different types of massages. Everyone knows when they come to the spa, the first thing that comes to mind is a massage. But what other things or unique experiences that you could offer to the guest? In Babelshams, our unique experience would be the hammam. It's a beautiful space, and it's very bright, it's very minimalistic. But when they hear about the stories and when they hear about what the guests expect, they would definitely book the hammam, because the hammam it's one of our most expensive treatments, but it's a signature treatment. And we always say to all the tourists that this is a must try when you are in this region, because even if you are in Europe or in Asia, the experience is not the same because of the region, because Middle East owns the hammam treatment, I would say.
Absolutely. Thorsten, would you agree or disagree with any of this?
100%, and at the end, it comes all down to training. And of course, you do a wonderful job doing the training inside the spas, and I think it's really our job to train our staff, our trainers, but also internal training to our hotel colleagues. So it all goes down to communication, how we increase the capture rate, and I think traditionally also the capture rate in Dubai hotels is very low. So really rely on residents to come to our spas. So we're missing a big piece, a big chunk of the hotel guests. And I don't want to talk too much from Imar about our capture rates, but it was traditionally very low, and just increasing 1 or 2% makes at the end a very big piece in our P&L.
Yeah, totally agree. Right, any questions, anybody, on KPIs? Any challenges? Yes.
Jean-Guy, I give you my mic.
Jean-Guy, who would you like to address the question to?
Actually, it was Chris and you, Maya. You did mention, and hello everyone, you did mention online bookings and being very present on Google, search pages. How many of you or how much of you invest in Google AdWords? And what would be the benefits of that to encourage everyone in the room to be more present online with better SEO?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for your question. My marketing team is currently doing that. They have a campaign ongoing for paid ads on Google to promote the spa. Yeah, so that's one very good point, very good revenue stream for us as well, to create awareness of the spa, to make us visible. So every time the guest is Googling either spa or treatment or something to do in Abu Dhabi, we would always pop up first. So absolutely. I'm not sure about the cost of it because that's more on the marketing side, but they have budget for those things. So I'm pretty sure it's not crazy expensive.
So Jean-Guy was saying if it's very expensive to look at the word spa. I think it's very expensive, and it becomes increasingly expensive because obviously we know who has got the dominance here is Groupon, right? I mean, whatever you slam out there, Groupon will always be on top, and it's very, very difficult to beat their SEOs because they just have crazy amount of funding to be on top. So I think what works for us is we're looking at special events, we're looking at mindfulness, we're looking at your full moon yoga with lots of amenities. We have art breakfasts, we have workshops, candle making workshops, everything that has to do with mindfulness, where we get the bookings from. So I think that works for us the best, right? Because how many people are promoting spas and how many spas are actually out there on Google in Dubai? It's just insane, right? So how do you set yourself apart from the masses, create something that is different, but still is associated with that topic? That works best for us. And for us, it's a 10% marketing reserve that we invest overall from the profits every month into our SEO approach and digital marketing. It needs to be split, and we decide at the beginning of the month in our strategy meeting what is put aside for SEOs and what is put aside for certain Instagram campaigns. Yeah.
Does that answer your question, Jean-Guy?
My second question was, I hope you have more questions, but I don't want to keep all the questions. Investing SEO on Google with AdWords, super important. But so many spas now are also investing with Meta on Facebook and especially on Instagram. Is it also part of your budget?
I don't think it's a part of our budget. I know that when it comes to creating content for Instagram, I talked to my marketing team about that at one point. It's very challenging to constantly create something interesting content for Instagram related to spa, because how many times and how many pictures of massage hands or a product can you see, right? It's not very catching. So usually Instagram page for the spa would be under the hotel itself. So that's the way to promote us through the hotel, through Instagram. Facebook is, on another hand, is different, where we can create different events or opportunities for bookings as well. But Instagram, not so much, in my experience. I don't know, Chris.
I mean, for us, like I said, it's the other way around. Facebook doesn't work for us at all. We create events on Instagram. We create these community events around wellness and spa. I fully agree with you. If you show like a couples massage on Valentine's Day and whatever, it doesn't kick, right? But if you create an event around it, or like something special, something unique, where you give exclusive access to some facilities that you would normally not have given, and you pick your most visual, impactful hammam of the fleet, it does work. It does have a better effect, to create an event around these these marketing techniques. But for us, it's Instagram. It's always the best tool.
I think for the Bubble Champs, we are under the hotel, and we are promoting the spa also in Instagram, and we make sure that we have something or an experience that is unique in the community, because we are in the desert, so we have to show the desert part where we do our wellness or mindfulness or yoga or sound healing therapy, plus with the massage or the hammam experience. Thank you.
Great. Anyone else? Any more questions on KPIs? So we've discussed many different avenues, and I'm sure all of our panelists will be available if you want to talk about anything else or any of the aspects that they've used to drive their revenues. Before we go, now numbers. We love numbers, don't we? So we have just produced a little thing on capture rates and average treatment spends, where you can actually work out the amount of revenue if you use these tools. So today we've been talking about different tools, whether it's education, whether it's online, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's visibility, whether it's membership. Those are all ways you can use to increase your KPIs. We focus on retail, booking, and motivation, and this is why we're having our workshops afterwards. But if we look, for example, what this is telling you, say your hotel has 300 rooms and it has an average occupancy of 70%, with a current treatment capture rate of 2.5%, and your average spend, let's say, is 450. This is just a static figures, but we do have this on a working document. So the number of current spa guests per month would be 284. Your actual revenue would be around 127,000. So if you increase that 2.5 to 3%, you can see that your revenue goes up from 127 to 153, which is an incremental revenue of 25,000. Imagine if you're using online booking and you mentioned 16%. So a 10% increase from here, from your capture rate, takes you up from 127 to 510,000. So these are the sort of figures that you can work from. You need to use tools. You need to look at everything in your spa. You need to talk to the GMs. You need to have your marketing team on board. Visibility, using the tools online, using all the technology that you have, your team, your education, everything, that all works together to work on your KPIs. Very simple steps that you can take in any way, and I'm sure all of our panelists are available at the end if you have any questions or you want to quiz them on the way that they've worked on the tools that we've done. So thank you very much indeed. That was very kind of you to all watch. We have our accolades and recognition rewards next, which are our way of thanking the industry, the spas that we work with, and also the therapists that we work with. And then we have our workshops later on at 12:30 just next door. So thank you very much, and thank you very much, Thorsten, Maha, Chris, and Maricel. Thank you.